So here's the bridge going over the Chicago River, but now you have the Riverwalk, and like I said, you can see all these beautiful buildings right here along Wacker Drive, which leads into the Sears Tower in the financial district, and from the financial district down Wacker Drive takes you right to the lakefront. But it also has an amazing river walk, so people can come over to the river and eat along or walk along the river. So it has it for the residents and the people that work in this area, that it's great. After work, you can go hang out on the riverfront and dine, walk, do some fellowship, or go out to lunch on the river. Truly. Or, obviously, you could take a extended lunch and take a little river cruise, a river lunch cruise. Truly. And these buildings have some beautiful outdoor patios that are rooftop patios. And so adding to the ambiance. And then my sister used to work here, Marina Towers, 2 towers. And I don't know what they got planned for them, but at the bottom you have the House of Blues, and then there's another place there. But my sister used to work in a breakfast place at Marina Towers. When she was young, she used to drive down, park here, and serve breakfast. And that's when we lived on Elston and Irving in that area. And she would come down here and work at Marina Towers as a waitress for breakfast. And she made all her money at breakfast. She did lunch sometimes, but mostly she only waitressed during breakfast. And she had a great breakfast clientele, and she made a lot of money in tips just at breakfast. But she had at Alps and that a very stable clientele. She worked at the House of Pancakes by 6 Corners, and the guys that owned it, they were Arab, and they were good to her. She worked there, and that's when we lived in Deerfield. So again, she worked at a lot of places, just breakfast. Then she moved to Bob Chin's, and she just worked dinner. So again, here's Trump Towers. And so again, the Riverwalk, like I showed you over there by Water Street, southeast Water, it's right off of Randolph between that. And if they open up that backside that's under, and those people have direct access to the Riverwalk, and they beautify that underneath area, it can add immense value. Here, I'll take you in front of the Trump Towers. But again, this is right on the Riverwalk. And so, again, his daughter can move to Chicago, or one of his sons can move to Chicago. Truly. And they have an office, and then they have a residence at Trump Tower. So one of his kids can move here. So, and we're just going around the corner here. Here's the entrance to Trump Tower. And so up top, you see it says International Hotel and Tower. So this is Trump Tower. And it leads down here to a nice mall that's right down the street where Nordstrom's is. And you can just go in here and you're in this beautiful mall right off of Michigan Avenue. This is the backside. This is Wabash. Now, this used to be a high-end steakhouse. Now it's Kitchen Cocktails, and I don't know exactly what it is, but they just walk over here from Trump Towers. You can enter in here, and you're in a nice, beautiful mall. It's right down the street from Trump Towers. They can go shopping and everything, and there's beautiful restaurants and everything just right down the street. So they get to experience the Magnificent Mile. And then if you want to go for a little bit more budget deal, but you want to be on the Magnificent Mile, Homewood Suites. So it's a great place. You're right by the Mag Mile. So again, if you want to do a little bit more conservative, Homewood Suites is a perfect buy. So again, you're still getting a suite. You're still off the Magnificent Mile. You're still in a great location. So downtown here, there's lots of good hotels. I stayed at the Marriott Courtyard when I was down here in Chicago. That's right down here. It's a good price, great rooms. There's the Marriott Hotel as well, but I stayed at the Courtyard. Then you have the Hilton End Gardens, and there's great deals to stay down here as well. So, and you're right down the street from the casino. Trump Towers, you walk down the street, and you can have chauffeurs. If they learn how to drive, they should start taking away chauffeur licenses. Surely, they need to make it like London. It's incredibly difficult. But here's the casino. And they got a great ability to build up all these residents right here. And they should be working with Trump Towers and that. And then the Escape Gang. It's a great place to go and, it was to go and have an experience on a date. A unique place to go for date and the dinner, or out with friends to have, a kind of unique interaction. And then you have nice Italian restaurants, and then you have the piano bar, the Redhead Piano Bars down here. It has a single piano, not dueling pianos, but again, here's the Redhead Piano Bar. It's nice, great champagne selection, and so on. And then we have our own top-notch Asian place. And it's funny, it turned into Tao, and it's an Asian-themed restaurant, nightclub. But the thing is, this is where I used to do the Korean nightclub that my friend Sang ran, and it was a Asian nightclub here, and it was very popular. And so now this is an Asian restaurant, and with a more unique Asian nightclub. So, again, this used to be the entrance to the nightclub. So, again, it was an Asian restaurant with an Asian nightclub. So, and right next to it, it's right down the street from the China consulate. Yeah. The Chinese consulate. So Ta can talk to the Chinese consulate about doing stuff with them and having council events and everything. Yeah, why not? The Chinese consulate's right down the street, and they can have different events for the consulate. They can host people and dignitaries from Chicago and that at Tao. So the Chinese consulate wants to entertain business from Chicago, and Chicago wants to bring business from China. And so the Chinese consulate can have all kinds of, interactions at Tao. And then you have the Felix and Hotel and many other places down here. So lots of good stuff. So I don't get it. Either you're moving up or you're going to be, either you're climbing the stairway to heaven or you're going down to hell. That's basically your two choices. So you have a choice. Either you're going to be Rahm Emanuel's Chicago Rising or Chicago's dying. So Chicago's got to make a choice. Either they're going to get rid of all the ghetto and that's an all go away, or they're going to get left behind because all those cities in Egypt, they're building a whole new city. And they're building a new city in Saudi Arabia and a new city and all these amazing new world-class. They want to be the top place in the world. Well, either Chicago is going to get rid of the ghetto or the ghetto is going to get rid of Chicago. So who's going to win? The ghetto, or Chicago is going to get rid of the ghetto and Chicago is a rising, like Rahm Emanuel said? So get rid of all the ghetto, I say. Be gone, garbage people.